I'm Wally Lee, a former chairman of the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association of Washington, D.C. Our organization has been the official host of the New Year's parade for years before I can even remember. Back in the 50s and the 60s and 70s, the scale of the parade was a lot smaller. We started the parade at 8th and H Street, where the CCBA headquarters was located, and we would march all the way to the end of H at 5th Street, where we would make a U-turn and come back down into the heart of Chinatown. There we would have a small ceremony, and then we would have a show that we put on for the crowd. That show consisted of the Chinese Youth Club members showing off with their Kung Fu exhibition, and occasionally we would have some singers providing entertainment as well. Also in the parade were the beauty pageant queens, since there was always a Miss Chinatown, Washington, D.C. participating.
As a member of the CYC Lion Dance group, I first started just carrying the spears and the swords as part of the parade. As I got a little older, I became the tail of the lion, and to me, that was one of the most fun parts of being in the Chinese New Year's parade. I got started in the parade because my father was a prominent member of the Chinese Youth Club in terms of being a member of their lion troop group. He first started, to my knowledge, as a drummer, and to this day his drum beat is the very traditional Chinese drum beat. Afterwards he would do Kung Fu demonstrations. Back then there was no stage, so the crowd would form a square and all of the lion dance group would perform their Kung Fu routines. No matter what the weather conditions were, whether it be raining or snowing, we always held the Chinese New Year's parade. We would go to the businesses and the restaurants to help bless and bring prosperity to the restaurants. The firecrackers and the loud noise were there to help drive out evil spirits and bring in the new year.
Every organization was permitted to light their own firecrackers. My recollection of a couple of the big organizations in Chinatown, like the Lee Family Association, the Online Merchants Association, always hung firecrackers out their windows using a stick or a pole. And the firecrackers would be latched to a rope that would be descending as the firecrackers got shorter and shorter. Over time, particularly after 9/11, firecrackers were pretty much banned by private organizations. So any firecrackers that were lit had to be approved by DC government. It did take away part of the fun because that's part of Chinese New Year. You know, lighting firecrackers, keeping away evil spirits, bringing good luck. CCBA decided to use a crane, and we were able to hoist the long firecracker literally 3 to 4 stories up into the air. In today's environment, the long firecracker is laid out on the street in a snake formation and lit that way. In some ways, that's probably a good way to do it because more people get to see the firecrackers. Later in the 80s, we decided to rent a mobile platform where we could have all of the VIPs and the speakers addressed the crowd.
And Shinnin Kualo, Happy New Year to everybody.
So that changed the whole dynamic of how we marched around Chinatown.
The parade now is really more of an organized function. It starts near the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association headquarters, and we march around the streets surrounding Chinatown and end up on the stage that usually is on 8th Street.
As the parade expanded and became more complex, the parade logistics went from a few organizations within Chinatown to many diverse groups where it is today. This is our way of showing inclusivity of not just the Chinese in the area, but other ethnicities as well.
One of the most important things I enjoy about the parade is the history of my family being part of it. My father and my great-grandfather were part of it, and now my sons are an active part of the parade as part of the CYC Lion Dance Group. That means to me now that the parade has now become part of my family tradition.
Our Chinese tradition of bringing good luck to all of the establishments in Chinatown and to each other is a wonderful one for the Asian American community. I'm hoping that this tradition of a parade to celebrate our Lunar New Year will continue for years and years to come.